We're live. Countdown. Hello, welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I am your host, Willie Bragg, and I want to talk about what's going on, what I call neo-McCarthyism. But before I do, I am just for, again, levity, a little bit of entertainment. Let's watch a little bit of 1950s style preventive measures just in case we're under a nuclear attack. This is how they used to do it back in the day. Back in the day. This was the 1950s here. Enjoy.
Beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum, beedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered. He did what we all must learn to do. You and you and you and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. This is an official civil defense film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association. Produced by Archer Productions, Incorporated. Hey, Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people, please. Oh, all right. We really can't blame you. You see, Bert is a very, very careful fellow. When there's danger, this is the way he keeps from being hurt. Sometimes it even saves his life. That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time. Fire is a danger. It can burn whole buildings if someone is careless. But we are ready for fires. We have a fine fire department to put out the fire, and you have fire drills in your school so you know what to do. Automobiles can be dangerous too. They sometimes cause bad accidents, but we are ready. We have safety rules that car drivers and people who are walking must obey. Now, we must be ready for a new danger, the atomic bomb. First, you have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You'll know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There's a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you are not ready and did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard or throw you against a tree or a wall. It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town. But if you duck and cover like Bert, you will be much safer. You know how bad sunburn can feel. The atomic bomb flash could burn you worse than a terrible sunburn, especially where you're not covered. Now, you and I don't have shells to crawl into like Bert the Turtle, so we have to cover up in our own way. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face. Duck and cover underneath a table or desk or anything else close by. In Betty's school, they are talking about the atomic bomb, too. Betty is asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning. We think that most of the time we will be warned before the bomb explodes, so there will be time for us to get into our homes, schools, or some other safe place, no matter where we live in the city or the country, we must be ready all the time for the atomic bomb. Duck and cover. That's the first thing to do. Duck and cover. The next important thing to do after that is to stay covered until the danger is over. Yes, we must all get ready now, so we know how to save ourselves if the atomic bomb ever explodes near us. If you do not know just what to do, ask your teacher when this film is over. Discuss what you could do in different places if a bomb explodes. Older people will help us as they always do, but there might not be any grown-ups around when the bomb explodes. Then, you're on your own.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash? Duck and cover. Duck and cover. Duck and cover.
Gee, Wally, what happens if the Russians try to give us the business? Well, Beeve, I guess we just have to duck and cover. Yeah, because, I think that's what we have to do. Gee, I hope that never happens, Wally. Yeah, Beeve, I do too. But we have a bunch of fucking assholes. Hopefully, they will be voted out of office and we'll have better leaders on all sides. 70 years later, look what happens. We still have assholes running governments all around the world, including the United States. I play that video, and I hope that that's not going to be considered misinformation. I hope that's not going to be considered fake news, and then I get flagged on YouTube because apparently you got to be careful what you say. I was listening to Kim Iverson the other day, and she was talking about how Rising has been taken off the air temporarily because of commenting or referencing people who claim that Trump won the election and claiming that. And YouTube interpreted as they claiming that Trump really won, and it was stupid how this is part of the reason why censorship needs to be opposed. Now, right now, I believe RT is still on the air in the United States. I mean, like on YouTube. I think that they've been taken down or it's discontinued on cable services. Is my understanding. But I want to play you this serious news here, and then I will comment a little further. Of course, you know what I'll be saying. So here we go. If I can find it, there we go. Duck and cover.
Store after the U.S. tech company halted sales in Russia. That is amid claims that the news agency's content was upsetting to some users. The app is to be removed from the App Store globally, but remains available in Russia. Now, earlier, social media giants including YouTube, TikTok, and Meta announced that they would restrict access to Russian media outlets RT and Sputnik in the EU. RT's Oksana Boyko says the network has been caught in the middle of a massive information war launched by NATO countries and their allies. We got a response from Meta on the issue.
You are not independent media. You're a state agency of the Russian government under the jurisdiction of Putin, responsible for war crimes. You do not publish independent reports about the statements of Putin's politicians. You are a state-integrated power propaganda tool that is published in the West with the intention of broadcasting the will of the Putin government in our country. You are permanently opposed to the foundations of the German press code. You can't have any claims against us.
We are right in the middle of a major information war. And I have to tell you that NATO analysts and people who work for NATO for a number of years now have been talking about the so-called cognitive warfare, which they saw as an alternative to a full kinetic warfare, and many of the recommendations that they have been producing are now used by the Ukrainians. I mean, you heard that warning by the Russian Defense Ministry of the impending attack on the Information and Psychological Center in Kyiv. That center has been responsible for an avalanche of phone terrorism here in Russia, because over the last couple of days there's been a huge wave of various alerts of various buildings, social infrastructure supposedly being bombed. There we are talking about shopping malls, kindergarten, schools, etc. And it's not just a campaign of fakes. It's a very organized. It looks like chaos, but it's not. It's an organized, deliberate information campaign. In fact, today Russia's foreign ministry said that behind this avalanche of fakes are special forces of NATO countries. There is a degree of censorship against our channel, against our agencies, which are actually producing verified information about what at least people here in Moscow think about it. That is being blocked. So the access of European and American citizens, citizens of the world, actually, to that kind of information is blocked. Meantime, we have a huge operation to infiltrate Russian airwaves, to affect the public opinion in this country through the use of various platforms, through the use of various media, which don't even bother to verify their information. There is a deliberate effort to make sure that the Russian government crumbles under the pressure from its own population. That's actually the goal of this cognitive warfare.
Okay, let me do this. So it'll be a matter of time before that RT's like gone zapped from YouTube and probably any other social media in the United States. I'm not surprised that it has happened so quickly in the European Union. The one thing we got going for us, although not as good as it used to be, is the free speech thing. We are still somewhat number one in the world when it comes to freedom of speech, but we are losing our right to speech all the time, and they're doing this in the name of national security. We've seen this before. This kind of paranoia, the 1950s paranoia of the Red Scare and all of that. I mean, and everything Russian, and we were scared. Everything Russian. Those Ruskies, they're out to get us. Better watch out, and I hate to go and use racism or play the racism card, but I mean, even though they're white, well, mostly white, Russians are being seen as another race right now. I mean, they're being seen as Asiatic in the eyes of Americans. When they do that sort of thing, it kind of makes it easier for people to hate the other side. This is what happened with the war on terror 20 years ago. With anybody with a Middle Eastern kind of look, you'll be looking at with suspicion and all of that. And remember what we did to German Americans and Japanese Americans, especially with Japanese Americans during the internment. One of the worst things Roosevelt, who was our best president, but the worst fucking thing he's ever did was to put these people in the camps. It wasn't to the level of Germany's Holocaust, but at all. I mean, the United States do it to that level, but it was bad enough. And so I'm hearing about people getting kicked out of universities, Russian students. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's like the anti-French campaign of 2003, but more brutal, whereas people were just either making fun of the French or just talking shit about the French 20 years ago. Taking an obscene notch at this point. And, speaking of the French, weren't they correct? And weren't the Americans wrong? And it's going to look like, again, that those of us who are concerned about about civil liberties and free speech rights. We're going to, if we can get out of this mess, they're gonna look back and realize they should have listened to all of us in that regard. So anyway, just some things are on my mind right now. So right now on the chat line, we have Radical Leftist Agenda. Great seeing you again. Great seeing you. And we have Less Bones too. Great seeing you again as well. And I hope both of you are doing well. I'm probably going to go and sign off in just a moment here, but I just want to share that with you. Plus a little bit of the hokey 1950s duck and cover public announcements. That sort of thing. That sort of thing just always humors me. Such innocence and everything of that nature. I remember when I was in college, the library had a fallout shelter, and it was taken down when they remodeled the library and all that. I wish they didn't do that. I mean, because one, you never know when it's needed, and two, you need a visual look of history. And I said to myself at the time, I don't know if that fallout shelter is really all that irrelevant. I mean, there could be a time in the future where we could be under a nuclear alert, and here we are. So all the people who were tearing down fallout shelters, what the hell are we all doing? So anyway, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, we'll comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're kept up to date. And remember, we have a class war to wage. That's the war I support, class warfare. I don't support killing another human being in the name of empire or for one side of the conflict or the other. The only war I wage is class warfare, and that's what we need to wage. And remember, also, in the name of a free press and free speech, we're all Julian Assange as well. Take care, and I will see you all next time. Music. All right.
Thank you.